Yeah, so we're going to talk about user, we're going to talk about delegation of right. Anyway, the rest, this is the part one. So the rest will be we will talk about the backup and the rest later on, right? So here we only focus on user and delegation. Oh. So first of all, we're going to look at user account and delegation. Now, by default, for you to manage a solid server, right? You log into the web interface using IPM-admin, right? And the default password is admin. So that is the only administrative user you have, right? By default in Solid Server for you to manage the Solid Server. Is okay? So that is the only default user account. And that is the local account. The local account, which means the user is created locally in Solid Server, right? So if you need more administrative user to manage the different object, right? To manage the DNS, to manage the DHCP, to manage the IPAM, right? So if you want a different user account to manage the different object, right? Or different service, okay? Then of course you need to create the user, and then you need to delegate the permission, right? Yeah. So for the user account for administration, right? For the user account for administration, it can be local user. So those are the local user you create in Solid Server Management Database. Or it can be external user. External user are user created on an authentication server, on an authentication service, right? So the external user are created in LDAP, right? The external user are in Active Directory, in Radius, and of course in OpenID, right? So the user, they are on the authentication service, right? The external user that is on the external authentication server, you can assign them the permission to manage Solid Server. Okay, so that you can have centralized management of user account, right? Instead of maintaining local user account in Solid Server, right? So Solid Server support LDAP, Open LDAP, Solid Server support Active Directory authentication, Solid Server support Radius, right? And support OpenID. If you want multi-factor authentication, you can choose to use OpenID. Okay? What we're going to talk about here, we only talk about local, right? Yeah. So we will not, actually last time we do cover. Anyway, we are not going to talk about external. Oh. So here is to give you the concept about managing the user account and also granting the permission, right? Again, for authentication, yeah, you have an object model. You have an object model. You have user, so you must create user. The user can be local user, the user can be external user. Are you clear? So you must have user account. Fine. Now, of course, you must have a group. So you have to create a group. By default, right? By default, you have a local group. By default, you have a group called admin. Are you clear with that? Can follow? Yeah. So, and by default, you have an IPM admin user. So IPM admin user belong to the admin group. Okay, right? Yeah. So you must have a group, and you're going to assign the user to the group. Right? And then you're going to assign the resource and the right to the group. A resource means the object, the different object that you want the group to manage. The different object that you want the group to manage. Object can be IPAM, the IPAM server, the IPAM block, the IPAM subnet, or the object can be DHCP server, DHCP zone, right? DHCP resource record. See? So you can assign different resource that you want the group to manage. At different hierarchy. Not necessarily is an entire object hierarchy. You can just assign any object at different level. Right? And then you assign the right. The right you can say is the permission. So whether they can delete, whether they can modify, whether they can add. So those are the right. See? Yeah. So it's pretty simple, very straightforward. So it's something like role-based access control. You define the group and then you add permission to the group, you add resource to the group, and then you add the user to the group. So now, right, the user that belong to the group will be the user that belong to the group log into the web UI. It will be able to manage all the resources assigned to the group with the permission that is assigned as the right. Okay, right? Okay, good. So this is actually, as I mentioned to you just now, you have the flexibility to assign object to the group at any level, right? So for example, I can assign multiple zones to be managed by the group. So let's say I have UN.org, UNICEF.org, UNIV.org. So these are the 3 zones I can assign to the group so that the group can manage the 3 zones. You see? Right? Yeah. Also, I will be able to actually assign, for example, for the group to manage, example, a subnet in US block, a subnet in Europe block, a subnet in Asia Pac block. So you can see, I can assign the subnet of different network block to the same group. You see that? So it's flexible. So you can assign object at any level to the group. So that's why they mentioned you can do horizontal delegation. Horizontal delegation is like what I mentioned. You can assign multiple zone, right? Yeah, multiple zone on the same DHCP. Sorry, you can assign multiple zone of a DNS server to be managed by the group, horizontal. Or you will be able to assign different subnet on different block to the group. So that is a vertical. See? So it's flexible, right? So you can pick any object at any level. So those are the objects that can be managed by the group. Right? Now, for the delegation, actually for the delegation, so for the delegation of managing the resources, right, is actually assigned to the group. Is assigned to the group. So the main thing for you to see from this diagram is better shown on this diagram. So you can see you must have a group before you can assign resource to the group and assign the right to the resource. So the right for managing the resource or the permission for managing the resource. So everything is actually linked using a group. So the resource is assigned to the group, the right is assigned to the group, the user is also assigned to the group. See? So the group is like a profile. A group is like a profile that define who is the user, who are the user, what are the resource, and what are the permission. See? So the group is like a profile for assigning that for delegation. Understand? Right? Yeah. So that's what they're trying to explain to you here in this diagram. So a group is a delegation profile. So you create the group is a profile, and then you define in the profile who are the user, what are the resource, and what are the permission. Right? Okay, now, how are you going to manage? How are you going to manage it now? Where are you going to manage it now? For users and group and permission. They don't call permission, they call right. So to do that, you go to admin home. And you do this on the management server, right? You do this on the management server. Okay, that, right? Yeah. So on the management server, you go to the admin home. Under the admin home, you have the user group and right. Right? You can manage, you can see on the sidebar, you can also see on the listing page here. Either they are the same, to manage user, to manage group. Authentication rule is for configuring external authentication. So if you want to use LDAP, if you want to use Active Directory, right? You go into the authentication rule and configure it. Right? So over here, we're going to talk about users and group, local user and the group. So we're going to talk about how you can add a user, how you can add a local user, how you can add the group, how you can add the user to the group, how you can assign resources to the group, and how you can assign the right to the group. So that the user will have the permission to manage the resource. Okay? Yeah. So this will be the example, right, on the subsequent slide. So the first thing, create group, create users and group. Are you clear? So to create users and group, right? You can do it manually or you can import from CSV. So even the local user account and the group can be imported from CSV. Okay, that right? Or you manually go to the GUI and create it. So if you go to the user listing page, right? So this is on the user listing page, means you click on this. Click on this here. On the admin home, you click on user. Or you click on the user here. Okay, so once you click on the user, you will be able, you will see the user listing page. By default, you only have IPM admin. By default, IPM admin. Right? You can't delete it. Right? Yeah. So now you will be able to add a user. So when you add a user, give a name, give a password, and basically that's all. That's all you need. Right? But of course, if you click on the expert mode, okay, then you can add additional thing. You can type in the last name, you can type in the first name, you can type in the email address, right? And also you can see maintainer group. Maintainer group is actually maintainer group by default is admin group. And it's not recommended you change it. So this is the group. They can manage the user setting. So they can reset the user password. Okay? Yeah. So this is the group of user. This is the group that can manage the user property. User property like resetting the user password. Are you clear with that? Modify the user property. So that's why it's recommended you leave it as admin. Right? By default, it's admin. Okay, so actually, if you don't need to enter the email address, you don't have to go to the expert mode, right? Yeah, so you just have to give the login name and password, right? Expert mode allow you to enter more information for the user. The user can also be import from CSV file. So look at this CSV file, right? You have the login column, you have the password column, you have the first name, last name, right? Email address. See? So if you do have this CSV file, you can use this to import. So here you will be importing for user. Fine? Yeah. So yeah, you can import it from user. And then you can, same thing, just like what you have learned just now, you have to pick the column to match the field of the user, to match the property of the user. right? And the user will be added. So this is how you can create user account locally. You can create group. So you go to the group listing page. Same thing, you click on add. All right. Now, when you click on add, they will ask you to choose a parents group. Right? So what is a parents group? You can choose none if you don't need if you do not need a hierarchical organization of group. Okay, you don't need a parents. A parents is optional. Here you see the example. So you can see I can create a hierarchical structure for a group. So example, I create a IT group where the parents is none. So the IT is the top level group, right? No parents. Then once the IT group is created, I create help desk group. But when I create help desk group, I choose IT as a parent. So that now you can see the hierarchy now. So the help desk, right, is a subgroup under IT. Yeah. Then I can create a security group and also make it a child under IT. So when I create a security group, I will choose the IT as a parent. So when you look at the group now, you can see there's a hierarchical structure for group. For readability, for easy to understand, right? And you use the group the same. You just use it. You use the group the same. You assign user to the group. You assign permission to the group. Isn't it? Yeah. But just that you have a hierarchical structure for easy understanding. Right? Now, of course, the parents group user will be able to manage the user under the group. So it means that the user that belong to the parents group will be able to manage the user, right, of the child group. So they will be able to add user to the child group. They will be able to make changes to the user in a child group. Okay? Yeah. So that is the parents. They give you the hierarchical layout. They give you the parents group will be able to add user. Okay? Yeah. So if you don't want a hierarchical structure, you just have to choose no parents. None. Okay? Now, this is to give a group name, right? Yeah, and that's all. When you create a group, you just need a group name. You can copy the right from another group, right? If you want it to be the same as another group, right? Other than that, you just need a group name. So once you click on OK, the group is created, operated, right? So now you have the user created, you have the group created. So you're going to add user to the group. So for you to add user to the group, you can go to the property of the user. So let's say you go to the property of JSmith. Right click on JSmith property. Under the group access property panel, you can edit and you can add the group to the user. So you can add multiple group to the user. See? Right? So you can go to the group access property of the user and to assign the group to the user. Right? And you can assign one or many group to the user. Okay? Now, another way for you to assign user to the group, another way. So that is the first way you do it from the user side. So the second way to do it is you go to the group. So you have the operator group creator. So there's a hyperlink, click on it. So they will bring you into the resources. They will bring you into the resources of the group. Okay? Yeah. So the resources of the group, fine. The resources of the group can be a user. Yeah, can be a user. So basically, this is how you add user to the group. Or you add a user as a resource to the group. So that's why when you click on the group, they bring you to the resources listing page. Now you can add So when I add, I can add resource or I can add user. See? So I can add user to the group now. So once you click on the user, they will show you all the user you have, right? Yeah. Then you can pick multiple user to assign to the group. Okay? So that is another way for you to assign user to the group. Right? So go to the resource listing page of the group and add user. Then you will see the users are added. So now I'm on the operator group. Under the resource, I see 2 users. So these are the 2 users that belong to the operator group. Okay? Yeah. Fine. So that is how you assign user to the group. Two way to do it. Right? Now, we're going to see assigning resource to the group. Assigning resource to the group. Right? So, as I mentioned, you can pick any object in any level, assign it to the group. For iPad, so I can assign a particular space to the group, or I can assign all the space to the group. Isn't it? Yeah. So if I assign the top level object to the group, so you are granting permission for the group to manage the entire space, inclusive all the child. Okay. So if you assign the parents to the group, now the group will be able to see the parents for managing. It will be able to see the parents you assign. It also will be able to see the child. Read-only access. Read-only. So if you do not assign the resource to the group user cannot see the object at all when they log into the management interface. Right? Yeah. So that is actually the resource. So you can see, if you assign a space to the group, the user of the group will be able to see the space, will be able to see all the child, the block, the subnet, the pool, the address, everything. Okay? To see means you can view, but does not mean you can modify. The default permission is to view, but not modification until you assign the right. That's why you have the right. Okay? Yeah. So if I assign a block, if I don't assign the space, I assign a block. Let's say I assign a US block to the group. Then the group will be able to see the US block and all the child under the block. The child and the grandchild. See the network, see the pool, see the address. Are you clear with this? Right? Yeah. So that's why they are very flexible. You can assign object to the group at any level. And remember, they include all the child. Okay? So iPad, then of course, right? DNS. So if you assign the DNS server to the group, then the user of the group will be able to see all the zone, will be able to see all the resource record. See? Yeah. But they cannot modify unless you assign the right. Clear that? Then you also can assign the zone. I don't want you to manage all the zone. I just want you to manage a single zone. So I'm going to assign the zone to the group instead of the server. Right? Then the group user will be able to manage the zone and all the resource record under the zone. You clear this? Right? Same thing for DHCP. Right? Yeah. So take note of that. Right. So here is where you can assign resource to the group. You do not assign resource to the user, right? You assign the resource to the group. So this is the first one, the first way for you to assign the resource. You go to the object listing page. Okay, you go to the object listing page. For example, I'm not too sure where they go. No, not showing. Oh, okay, like this. Okay. Yeah, this is the better diagram. So you can see, you go to the IPAM. So IPAM, the private space, right? And then you go to all network. So what you are looking at here is all the network under private. Now you select a block. See this block, 10.1 block. Fine. And then you go to the edit menu. And then you go to write. You see, you go to write. And then you add it to the group. Add as a group of resource. See? So that is how you add the resource to a group or to multiple group. See? So you go to the object listing page, select the object that you want to assign to the group, go to the edit menu, select write, and then select add group resource. So once you select add group resource, right? Now you can see all the group and you can add the group to the selected. Oh, make sure you click on add. Yeah, not just highlight, but make sure you click on add. So you're going to add to this group, add the resource to the selected group. Okay, so that is one way. If you have multiple group, you will see all the group listed. So you can assign the resource to multiple group. Are you clear? So that is one way to do it. Fine. Yeah. Now, another way to do it, the second way to do it, you go to the group resource listing page. So you go to the group, you click on the group, they bring you to the resource listing page. Now you can go to the add button and now you select resource. Then you pick the resource you want. So if you want to assign the IPAM object, then you go to IPAM. And then in IPAM, if you want to select the subnet object or the block object, then you go to block. And then they will show you the block. No, actually they don't show. This one they use block. Okay, assuming, right? Assuming this one. See? You go to resource DNS, right? Then you select zone. Then they show you all the zone. Do you see it? And then now you can pick the zone. So these are the zone you want to assign to the group. So you can assign multiple objects to the group. Oh, same thing. If you want the group to manage the DHCP also, so you go back to the resource, right? Yeah, go to the edit, go to the add menu, select resource, select DHCP, and you can select the DHCP server or DHCP scope. So here they show you DHCP server. You have 3 DHCP server. You can let them manage the smart architecture only, or you can let them manage all the member. Your choice. So I don't have to choose the member if I don't want the group to see the member. See, I don't select the member, only select the smart. So the smart will be the smart, right? Will be available for the group, but the member will not be shown. Okay, or you want to let them manage everything. The smart architecture plus all the members. Normally no need, right? You just give them the smart architecture for them to configure. You don't need the member to configure the DNS. Or to configure the DNS or to configure DHCP. Fine. Okay, good. Now once you have added, you see, you can add different type of object. Right? So you can see these are the different type of object added to the group operator. The DNS zone, UN.org, OMS.org. To manage the DHCP server, the smart architecture, DHCP server 1, DHCP server 2. Okay? And to manage the US block. So now the user in the group will have the permission to view all these objects, inclusive all their child. view, but cannot manage it, cannot modify. They have a permission to view now. Once the object is added to the group, right? The group will have the permission to view the object plus the child. Okay, right? Yeah. So now, how do you grant the permission for the group to manage this resource for add, for delete, for modify? Right? So then, of course, you have to go to the right. Clear? Yeah. So the right. Okay, now, one thing about the right you have to know, the right is global. Example. Now, if I grant you the permission to edit the zone. So the right permission is to allow the group to edit zone. Right? So the user in the group will be able to edit all the zone resource that you assign to the group. So you can see there are two zone resource, UN.org, OMS.org. So these are the two zones you add to the group. And if you assign the permission for the group to edit the zone, then the user in the group will be able to edit both the zone. Global to the resources that you assign to the group. Then what happened? I don't want. I only want the user in the group to manage to edit UN.org, but not OMS. What happens if you don't want? Then you should not put the resource in the same group. You see that? Yeah. You should not put the resource in the same group. So whatever right you assign to the group, it applies to all the objects in the group. Okay with that? That's why they mention here is global. Oh, now you can create different group with different resource and with different right. And then you can assign the same user to the different group. So if you want a user to let's say, for example, if you want a user, right, to edit zone 1, are you clear with that? Yeah. But it cannot edit zone 2. It can see zone 2, but it cannot edit zone 2. Right? So the user can edit zone 1, but the user cannot edit zone 2. It can see zone 2, but not editing zone 2. So if you want this type of result, you have to create two groups. One group is actually to grant the permission to the group to edit zone 1. Right? Another group is to assign the permission for the group to see zone 2. So two groups. And then you add the user to both the group. Understand? So that is how you grant different permission for different object to the same user. So the permission is important, right? Yeah, take note is the right is global to all resources in the group. So for you to manage the right, you just have to click on right. You have selected operator. Currently, are looking at the resources. So you just have to go to the breadcrumb. On the breadcrumb, click on right. Then you will be able to manage the right. So there is a long list of right. There's a long list. Over here, you can see like 2 pages. 433 results. So 400 over right. So you can see these are the right for add, the right for delete, the right for modify. Edit. So it's not easy for you to find the right? So it's good that you can apply filter. See, so you can choose to apply filter, and then this example here, you apply the filter, and then you apply the filter for add because you want to look for the permission for them to add. Right? So the permission for them to add, you want to allow them to add IPv4 network, add IPv4 block, and add IPv4 pool. So you can select this and then edit menu, allow. By default, it's denied. Now you can change it to allow. So means that, right, they will be able to add resource, they will be able to add subnet, block, and pool, right, in the space. Are you clear with that? Yeah. And do you realize that you can't choose the object here? Because whatever permission you apply here, whatever right you select here, apply to all the resource that you assign to the group. See? Oh, that's the reason why. You see, when you go to the right, whatever right you assign, whatever right you selected, it is a general. You can add subnet, you can add block, right? But it never allow you to control which space. I can add block to which space. I can add subnet to which block. You don't. It all depending on what you assign to the resource of the group. Okay, so that's why the right will be global to all the object in the resource. Okay, so yeah, assigning the right is very important. Just have to find the right module. So first of all, you filter by module first, whether DNS or IPAM or DHCP, and then you filter by what action, what are the action, whether it's add, whether it's modify, edit, or whether it's delete. Okay, yeah. Fine. So this is how you assign the right to the group. Any questions so far?
Sorry, Mr. Doc. I want to ask about authentication, synchronization to LDAP. You can make slide.
Where you can get the slide.
Yeah, part authentication.
Okay. Okay, maybe I can try to give you. So you want to know about the LDAP, is it? How you can set up the LDAP, isn't it?
The question is, so if the Solid server is configured to be connected to a three-parter like LDAP, when the user changes the password in LDAP, the Solid server user password will also change, right?
The password is in LDAP, not in Solid server. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if the user change password using the LDAP,
yeah.
So the user, sorry, so the password in the Solid server can change.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's changed.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's,
Solid
yeah.
server do not store the LDAP user password. They do not. So if you change the password of the LDAP user, yeah, next login to Solid server, you use the new password. There's no need for you to change. You can't change the password in a Solid server because that is an LDAP user. You get what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. So you don't. There's no need for you to. There's no need for you to change the LDAP user password in Solid server. No, you just have to do it in LDAP server. Okay. Now in Solid server, right? You just have to make sure the user is assigned to the proper group. Right? Yeah, the user is assigned to the proper group for the delegation. Huh?
Okay.
Yeah.
But
one question also, yeah.
But for this problem, when the user change the password, I mean, via LDAP the password. Sorry, via LDAP change the password. But on Solid server does change password. So if the change password via LDAP on the Solid server still password by default, maybe. not so I mean not change.
Okay, you are saying that
Yes.
yeah, it come back to the same thing, right? When you go to if you go to the LDAP change password, right? But on the solid server side, there's no
Yeah.
password you need to change, right?
Yeah, I mean maybe for example the password so server admin 123, right? And I change password PLDAP admin 1234.
But for which user
Okay.
account? For which user account? For
Yes.
which
Sorry, can
for
you repeat?
who? For who? For which user? The LDAP user, right? LDAP user, or you are talking about IPM admin?
No, I mean user for example user Radit. Okay.
Sorry, again, I can't hear you. Your voice breaking just now. Repeat again.
Yeah, I have user for example user Radit, right? The user Radit can the user Radit change password PLDAP.
Okay.
Okay. I mean the password is admin 123.
Okay. In
Okay.
LDAP,
Yes.
right? The user. Okay.
Okay. In LDAP and in sorry server.
Uh-huh.
Nah, when the user Radit change password via LDAP before admin 123 and change admin 1234, the LDAP and sorry server synchronization, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but for this problem, when the user change the password via LDAP, the password on solid server doesn't change. Yeah, still 123. I mean, sorry, still admin 123.
So what happened when the user log in to solid server? Not allowed. Is it? Is that your problem? So means that when you change the password in LDAP, correct? The password is not synchronized to
Yes,
solid
of course,
server.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
now when you log into solid server using the old or using the new
Old.
password,
All password. I mean,
so if you are using the new password, it will fail. Is it? Unless you log in to solid server using the old password. Are you
yes,
saying that?
yeah.
So there is a synchronization. I can't remember, but I can show you the slide later on. You give me, because last time we teach that, but now it's not covered for this. But I can bring back the old slide. I can show you. I can't remember. Let me get retrieve back the information, and yeah, I'll get back to you on that. Right? Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
Thank you,
Jackie.
Mr.
Yeah, Jackie. Anything?
Yes, I just want to check. So for the provisioning for accounts, right? Let's say through external source,
Yeah.
can we do by AD group instead of individual account? That means I don't want to create individual accounts on the solid server itself. Can I just authenticate them based on the AD groups?
Yeah. You can authenticate them based on the AD group. Yes.
So I don't need
they
to create
will-
local user. I don't even just use AD group. You do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. So as long as you grant them the permission. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All these question is good. It made me recall back what. Okay. Anyway, I will try to get the information. Maybe after the lunch, and then I will show you after the lunch. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we do have a slide last time. Just that it's removed. Okay. Good. Good question. Thank you. Thank you for all these questions. Of course, now I want you to work on the lab. Just try out this. These are for the local user. Okay. And you have a 15-minute, right? So 11:45, we're going to start again. Okay. 11:45.